Liberals want to do the reverse Trump thing, where it's like instead of getting banned for not sufficiently mourning Charlie Kirk, I get banned for not sufficiently laughing. You have not demonstrated the proper amount of laughter and joy on this state-mandated Jon Stewart broadcast, which, by the way, anyway, let's do it. Jon Stewart's post-Kimmel primer on free speech in the glorious Trump era.
From Comedy Central, it's the all-new government-approved Daily Show. With your patriotically obedient host, Jon Stewart.
My name is Jon Stewart, and welcome to the Daily Show on, I'm going to guess, Monday. I don't know. We have another fun, hilarious, administration-compliant show. Doing? Shut up. Blow this for us. So we're coming to you tonight from a real shithole. The crime-ridden cesspool that is New York City. It is a tremendous disaster, like no one's ever seen before. Someone's National Guard should invade this place, am I right? Shut the up! If you felt a little off these past couple of days, it's probably because our great father has not been home. For father has been gracing England with his legendary warmth and radiance. Gaze upon him with a gait even more majestic than that of the royal horses that pranced before him. He wowed the English with charm, intelligence, and an undeniable charisma that filled their air like a pheromone-packed London fog. And as part of this historic trip, the perfectly tinted Trump dazzled his hosts at dinner with a demonstration of unmatched oratory skill.
A fifth of all of humanity speaks, writes, thinks, and prays in the language born on these isles and perfected in the pages of Shakespeare and Dickens and Tolkien, Lewis, Orwell, and Kipling. Incredible people.
My mom made me watch this. It was hella drawn out. Ain't no way British or American hog, because this is hog variety seasoning. There's no there's no way a person that is not a hog is watching this. It's either an American hog or someone who loves royalty, right?
He didn't have to look down once. Completely off book, as he name-checked his favorite authors from the top of his head. Trump employing restraint, not to quote verbatim these great authors. Our president has devoured voraciously. Incredible people indeed. I'll tell you whose client list Trump's name is on: Dewey Decimals. But of course, as great as those authors are.
Oh, you meant this shit. Oh, your mom. Oh. You meant your mom made you watch The Daily Show. Oh, my mistake. I thought you said your mom made you watch the original full Donald Trump visits the Royal Highness shit. My mistake. I misunderstood. Oh my God, it has 7.6 million views. Oh my God. Bro, this is Lib Catnip is right, dude. Holy, liberals are so desperate for like a mainline, mainstream guy to just say anything. It is so obvious that people just want someone to just be like, this is stupid, this is wrong, what the fuck are we doing? And they're not getting it from anybody. And this is the role that Jon Stewart unironically played at the peak of his career. I was one of those people. I love Jon Stewart. Like, I loved watching Jon Stewart pop off. You know, I was like, wow, what a brave truth teller. He's really giving it to both sides. You could have been their guy. No, of course I can't be their guy. First of all, I'm not mainstream. Secondly, there's no way. I'm way more radical than Jon Stewart is. Are you kidding me? I would get fired 3 seconds into any mainstream media position I have. What are you talking about?
There can only be one most tremendous author in the English language. And I think we know that that author begins with the T and ends in P. Oh, how fortune has smiled upon us, for that very scribe is also our dear leader.
We're joined by history and fate, and by love and language. We're like two notes in one chord, or two verses of the same poem, each beautiful on its own, but really meant to be played together.
The whole room is enthralled. That's resting interest face. It was a most beautiful recitation, Mr. President. It brings me to tears almost as much as your favorite poem about that man from Nantucket. And the variety of things that man can do that rhyme with Tucket.
I'm gonna keep it a $1.50. I'm skipping this shit. I'm skipping the Trump UK tour. I don't care about Trump in the UK. Obama spoke out in support of misgive. This commentary offers a clear, powerful statement of why freedom of speech is the heart of democracy and must be defended, whether the speaker is Charlie or Jimmy Kirk, MAGA supporters or MAGA opponents. Okay. They hate to hate it to the guy, but that's funny. That's a funny retweet. That's not bad. Thanks, Obama.
That wasn't smart either. Now, the visit to England couldn't have gone better for our president. Finally, a country affording our great leader the respect and deference that any sun god would command.
We saw the dismissal of a very well-known chat show host in America last night, Mr. Kimmel. Is free speech more under attack in Britain or America?
How dare you, sir! How dare you, sir! What outfit are you with, sir? The Antifa Herald Tribune? Why, I wouldn't even line my parents' cage with your rag. There's a very reasonable explanation for what befell this scallywag, Kimball.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not.
Shut the up! Yay! You may call it free speech in jolly old England, but in America we have a little something called the First Amendment. And let me tell you how it works. There's something called a talent-o-meter. It's a completely scientific instrument that is kept on the president's desk. And it tells the president when a performer's TQ, talent quotient.
Oh my God. I don't care. You missed the funny part where Trump said Azerbaijan and Albania. Go back to the end of the UK thing. He talked about all the wars he ended. I don't care. Okay. He said the wrong thing. Let's just move on. Let's just move along.
Measured mostly by niceness to the president.
We're not going back. We're not going back. We're not going
Certain
back.
level, at which point the FCC must be notified to threaten the acquisition prospects for billion-dollar mergers of network affiliates. These affiliates are then asked to give ultimatums to the even larger megacorporation that controls the flow of state-approved content, or the FCC can just choose to threaten those licenses directly. It's basic science. Read your Constitution. Read it. Look. There are certain rules of free speech that we must all abide by. But in case anyone needs a refresher, we're going to go over the rules again.
He does not have a right to have a television show where he lies his ass off to the American people.
Well, there are repercussions to spreading lies.
Exactly. And even though 2 months ago, our president, because of his grand ability to see the future, it's a curse, somehow knew that Kimmel would be next, as he explicit.
You seem predisposed to hating on the entire show before you watched it. What is going on, man? What's happening? I like Jon Stewart, okay? Can we calm down? Can we? I can't even enjoy this video because there are liberals in here who are literally yelling at me because I'm not sufficiently enjoying it. People want to know why you're not laughing is all. Because I've said half of the shit that he has said already. This is part of the reason why I can't watch Jon Stewart usually, because I've already reacted to literally everything that he puts in a 20-minute video or a 10-minute video. And I've already cracked my jokes on it. So for me to be able to laugh at something like this, it has to be a bond. Okay? It has to be some shit that I've not heard of. Liberals want to do the reverse Trump thing where it's like instead of getting banned for not sufficiently mourning Charlie Kirk, I get banned for not sufficiently laughing. You have not demonstrated the proper amount of laughter and joy on this state-mandated Jon Stewart broadcast, which, by the way, I would love to live in that world, objectively better world than whatever the fuck we're experiencing currently. Okay? Yes. Who was it? Was it Robespierre who said, I dream to live in a world where they put my head at the guillotine for not being a radical? It's like that. It's kind of like that. I want to live in a world where people basically say like, yeah, proud Han. Oh yeah. I want to live in a world where there is so much left domination that basically they're like, you are not laughing at the state mandated Jon Stewart episode. You're going to prison. Yes. Where they I am seen as reactionary. I am seen as reactionary for not laughing at the state mandated Jon Stewart broadcast.
He said, you can't just make things up on television. People cannot just go on television and mislead viewers with made up crap.
Millions of illegal aliens that Boris Harris brought into the country will be voting.
The bottom line is this. There is massive voter fraud.
Global warming is a hoax.
Crime is at an all-time high right now.
50 million on condoms in Gaza.
They're taking people's pets and killing them and eating them.
On January 6, 2 years ago, the overwhelming majority were peaceful. They were orderly and meek. These were not insurrectionists. They were sightseers.
All true!
Boo! See, is that a good reaction? Boo, boo!
Oh, your lordship. I do not know whence these peasants come. That last roll of clips, all true. Especially that last one about sightseers, because technically anything you see is a sight. Even if that is you punching a cop. I see, therefore I am sightseeing.
Oh,
but of course, even before this, Jason.
Oh God, please Stop. Don't get mad at me. I'm laughing.
And Kringle situation at ABC, there were plenty of other people in America exercising their free speech incorrectly. So here's some examples of things you cannot say about your political opponents.
You can't call someone who you disagree with a fascist.
Leaders cannot call their political opponents Nazis and fascists and enemies of the state.
How horrible and dangerous it is to view people with whom we disagree as somehow being less than human.
Thank you. You can't say fascist. You can't say enemy of the state. You can't say less than human. These are simple rules that any responsible member of a society can easily follow.
The Democrats, they're fascists. Joe Biden, he's an enemy of the state. It's a very demonic party. Nancy Pelosi said, please don't call them animals.
The thing is, you can't call an actual fascist a fascist. Or you can't call someone who is directionally to your right a fascist, because then there's an element of truth in that statement, right? So when Donald Trump calls Joe Biden a fascist, everybody knows that's not the case. If I call Joe Biden a fascist, that's illegal, right? Because I'm calling him a fascist because of his genocide support in Gaza. So then that's a different take. You know what I mean? Then it's like, whoa, hold on now. What the fuck do you mean? Now we got to take it seriously. Fuck you. Trump gets to do that all the time. He can do that to whoever he wants to because he's an actual fascist. Yeah. It's like, what do you call it when the Groypers called Charlie Kirk a fascist? It's just, I don't even know what to say about that. Because like post World War II defeat, neo-Nazis are obviously going to be different than pre-World War II neo-Nazis, where they could just be like, where they could present Nazism as a positive thing. But in the aftermath of World War II, everyone's like, oh, you guys kind of fucking did a lot of bad stuff. Oh, you kind of cooked the term, right? Pre-World War II Nazis, sorry. Pre-World War II neo-Nazis is funny. God, I'm so stupid. Listen, my brain is fucking fried, okay? I don't think fascists think of themselves as fascists. That's the thing. Well, it's because when the OG fascists thought of themselves as fascists, that was not a term that had at the time, false association by broader subsects of Italian or German society. It wasn't a dirty word. I don't think any fascists think of themselves as fascists. That's the thing, especially nowadays. A lot of people just use it as a meaningless pejorative for their ideological opponents, that are actual right-wing authoritarian definition. No, I'm saying at the time, it was a positive term for fascists. Now, post-World War II, that's why I was saying, now post-World War II, neo-Nazis and all these other people, they can't, they can't self-describe as what they actually are.
Animals, they're human beings. I said, no, they're animals. Of course, I think she's an animal, too. You want to know the truth?
Technically correct. She's not a mineral.
Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I think a lot more people would be, a lot more fascists in America would be pro-Israel if they did not associate Israel with what they consider to be like anti-white sentiment. Like in modern day, the understandable false logical through line for modern day fascism is that you're supposed to be pro-Israel. They're fascist too, right? But I think a lot of neo-Nazis still hold on to the old gripes that the original Nazis held on to with respect to like Jewish control and all these other like insane conspiracy theories. And that's the reason why they attack Israel and attack Jews in general, because you got to have like a common enemy, right? You got to have this like story wrapped up in a bow. And the bow is Jewish all the time, which is why I always say when I hear like a neo-Nazi shitting on Israel, it almost feels like it's coming from a place of jealousy. Jealousy that they don't get to do Israel for white people in America, and anger and resentment directed back to Jewish people because in their minds they've thought Jews are the reason why they can't do that for white people in America. That's what it is. So in many ways, it's like fascist infighting.
Anyway, He said that a long time.
Are you saying neo-Nazis conflate Judaism with Israel? That's just unfair, dog. No, I am definitely saying that. Yes, I say it all the time. Both neo-Nazis do this, and also people like Jake Tapper do this as well. Yes.
I would go back when I was doing a semester abroad in Abu Dhabi. You know what? It's not really about the specific words. It's about having a basic sense of humanity.
People on the left are much likelier to defend and celebrate political violence. This is not a both sides problem.
The First Amendment, though, does not protect entertainers who say crass or thoughtless things, as Jimmy Kimmel did.
Thank you. Thank both of you. Or I think we only have to be nice to one of you. You know, it is true. I do. Point taken. Only a bad person would celebrate violence or make crass jokes about it.
Nancy Pelosi, well, she's got protection when she's in D.C. Apparently her house doesn't have a lot of protection.
Donald Trump Jr. shared an image of a hammer and a pair of underwear that had the caption, "Got my Paul Pelosi Halloween costume ready."
Well, maybe Paul Pelosi.
Yeah, Republicans are so violent that they're violent to Mike Pence. They wanted to hang Mike Pence. A registered Republican shot Donald Trump's ear. Thomas Crooks was a registered Republican. I cannot understand how anyone in this fucking country can still maintain with a serious demeanor this false assertion that it is actually the violent left that's always doing violence. It's like, brother, what are you saying? We are not living in the same fucking reality, dude. We are not living in the same fucking reality. It blows my goddamn mind. Republicans not only, like the far right, not only attack marginalized groups, marginalized communities deliberately and openly say they're doing it because they're Nazis. They're doing this because they're right wing. They're doing this because they think a great replacement is happening. They're doing this because they're like, I love Donald Trump and he is my man. And he told me that this is what I must do. I am his strongest soldier. And after all of that, these motherfuckers still turn around and go, nah, they're leftists, brother. It's crazy. It's crazy that the right is so violent that they're violent to themselves sometimes, where they're just like, it's not enough.
He needs the hammer instead of the metal.
Well, sometimes I feel like I'm one of the fucking few media figures that's just like looking at all this shit and being like, what are you saying? Because I never hear this on mainstream news. I never hear CNN or MSNBC even, or any number of different like liberal outlets go, what the fuck is this statement, brother? What are you saying? That political violence is a both sides issue at best? Like, that's the most we hear. The most we hear from legacy publishers and mainstream media is this fake both sides actually bullshit. Like any kind of pushback to a Republican senator or a Republican politician or a Republican fucking governor or a Republican spokesperson is at most someone going, hold on now. Violence is not just a left-wing thing. Right-wingers do it too. Like, as though it's a footnote. As though, like, sometimes the right also is violent. Please. Like, what are you saying? Just say the fucking truth. Oh my God. Say the fucking truth. I don't understand it. It's like, this is not like remotely 50-50, guys. What the fuck? And a major issue here is that when you let them get away with this straightforward lie, okay, or when you only offer like a marginal pushback and be like, well, the right does violence too, then you've already given up. You've given up on the truth. You have given up on the fucking truth. And now you're farming your own audience into literally believing this false notion. So, of course, they're going to be more susceptible to Republican framing. When you don't turn around and say, no, the Minneapolis shooter was not a fucking leftist, you baboon. That person literally had prominent white nationalists painted all over his gun. What the fuck are you saying this was a leftist? No, it's very clear. No leftist is going to be like, oh, I love Anders Breivik. What are you, fucking stupid? What are you saying? It blows my fucking mind when people just can get away with just like a straightforward fake, nonsensical bullshit narrative. And Jimmy Kimmel himself was at most lightly implying that the dude could have perhaps been fucking MAGA. He didn't even say it outright. He just said they tried to say it wasn't one of their guy the entire weekend, which is true. They did do that. Okay? Like the punishments that are coming for Jimothy Kimmel for not even fucking straight up being like, this guy is MAGA, which, by the way, again, if Jimmy Kimmel says that guy is MAGA, all of a sudden, for the first time, the Charlie Kirk shooter is MAGA, if he said that, okay, straight up, that would be one of the only instances where someone has done the role reversal of what Republicans do every fucking day. And he didn't even say that. He should have. I think he should have said that. I think he should have come out and he would have been like, this guy's MAGA. He loves Donald Trump. He voted for Donald Trump illegally. What are you going to do about it? Guess what? I'm doing exactly what the fucking Republicans do all the goddamn time. That's what he should have said. What the fuck? Ay. It seems like it's not a problem when the right does it.
All right. Rachel, good to see you.
Like, the right has completely captured the market on lying so hard that they're lying to one another at this point. They're lying in a direction that actually harms the overall narrative that they're trying to concoct in the aftermath of the Charlie Kirk shooting. What I mean by this is Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, and numerous other right-wingers straight up instantly after this assassination turned around and was like, nah, it's not trans people actually that you should be blaming. It's fucking Israel, okay? And now they're fighting amongst themselves. It's kind of like, it's the same thing that I was talking about with respect to right's proclivity to violence, where they get so violent that they start doing violence to one another. They're so good at just that they're basically lying in their own on their own side at this point, like ruining the narrative that they're trying to design. Because obviously the establishment Republicans wanted to use this as an opportunity to stamp out leftist opposition and immediately claim this was trans Antifa over and over and over again. And they couldn't get that narrative across because, unfortunately for them, I guess, despite Spencer Cox's numerous moments of prayer over the course of the 72 fucking hours, it was one of their guys, as Spencer Cox said, right? So immediately, half the right was like, this is not sufficiently shitting on trans people. And then the other half of the right was like, this is not sufficiently shitting on Israel and the Jews. And that's where we're at right now. They're just fucking creating misinformation chaos amongst themselves now. They can't even fucking figure out one narrative to lean into so they can manipulate the public. Awesome. What an incredible moment in time.
No, stop! And by the way, there were consequences. This gentleman had to leave television. I'm not sure where he went, but I'm sure it's not some prestigious, consequential position he's not remotely qualified for. Listen, these two could learn a lesson from our dear president, who, like Santa, knows that we are all God's children and would never, that is what Santa is, right? God's children. Is that? I'm not so up on the lore. I know he's good, but the president knows we're all God's children, and the president would never make light of a politically motivated attack.
We'll stand up to crazy Nancy Pelosi, who ruined San Francisco. How's her husband doing, by the way? Anybody know?
You see, that's how it's done. You stop in the middle of a speech to inquire
Chomsky's brain,
about
thank you for the 50 bones. Chomsky's brain no longer woke of the day.
Of an 82-year-old man who was attacked with a hammer in his own home. He has a fractured skull, Mr. President, but thank you for asking. Your kindness is only outshined by your manliness. So I don't know who this Johnny Drimmel live ABC character is, but the point is, our great administration has laid out very clear rules on free speech. Now, some naysayers may argue that this administration's speech concerns are merely a cynical ploy, a thin gruel of a ruse, a smokescreen to obscure an unprecedented consolidation of power and unitary intimidation, principleless and coldly antithetical to any experiment in a constitutional republic governance. Some people would say that. Not me, though. I think it's great. For more, we go to our correspondents who are live at the Donald Ham Lynch Monument. Very much appreciate it. Very much appreciate you joining us. Guys, you know.
Skip, I mean, they got friend of the show up there, you know what I mean? But in any case, yeah. All right, that's good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. It is good. I liked it.